Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Peter, and this is Deaf Gowan Camping. Obviously, if you've watched any of the other videos, I still haven't had a chance to do any camping videos. So it's really just been stories. If I knew how to edit, I could put some old videos in this stuff and or pictures and stuff like that. But until then, I guess you're just stuck with this ugly mug telling what I think is an interesting story. But, anyways, I don't normally do two videos in one day. Um, but I was thinking about my grandpa earlier, which got me thinking about the story that I'll share. But uh, I loved my grandpa immensely. Um, Spent a lot of time with him. Um, it taught me a lot. Things that are lost to most people today. Um, it taught me, you know, outdoors type of stuff, um, but also working with my hands. He lived up in the more woodsy area of the foothills and had a lot of property. Would take me out, teach me how to track. Never went hunting with me. He didn't. He didn't kill anything. He didn't intend to eat. Um, or defend himself from. So, well, at least then, because during the Great Depression, he was a trapper. I don't know if he ate the meat or not, but I know he sure as shit sold the skins. Um, anyway, but spent a lot of time with him. Spent a lot of time at their property. I loved it out there as a little boy. I mean, it was an absolute paradise. I'm in heaven. I mean, I'm 6, 7 years old, and I can have a 22 and go out and wander around out in the woods by myself. It was absolute heaven. I loved it. Uh, got a got a, a lot of great memories from there. He built the place. I mean, I loved it there. It was, it was my second home. But he taught me a lot. Tracking, animal scat, how to work with my hands. He had this big ass shop, just about every tool you can think of in there, from welders to woodworking tools, you name it. He probably had it. Um, I loved being there, and I loved spending time with him. I mean, he even taught me how to see in the dark, as strange as that might sound to most of you. Um, people people look in the dark, but they don't necessarily see in the dark. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. That's why people use flashlights. Uh, so he taught me how to see in the dark without a flashlight. Um, I mean, if there's absolutely zero light, obviously you won't be able to see, but um, you know, even just being out with no moon and just starlight, you can still actually see, but you just got to look differently. And anyway, I don't want to get into that. But he was Native American Cherokee, so he knew a lot about the outdoors and survival. Um, Sorry, another story just popped into my head from being there. Their house, grandma and grandpa's, was the gathering point for holidays. You know, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas. The family would head up to their property. Get the grandma's fine china out and have a feast. But during Thanksgiving, when they're we would during Thanksgiving, my grandpa he would always go out and get a wild turkey, but he would cheat. There was a spot way back in the woods that had a hollowed out knot in the tree. So he would go and feed it with cornmeal and fill it with cornmeal for a couple of days. Get the turkeys used to coming over there and eating it. And then he would just go over there and fill it up and just sit down in the bushes and wait. He said he wouldn't even have to aim, he'd just have to pull the trigger and he did something. So we had wild turkey every year. But that year, me and my mom and my brother, my mom actually got off early from work for once. So we were able to get up there the day before Thanksgiving and go on a hike. And we're going down the road. There's an old cemetery, and then there's a spot that you can go that overlooks the valley with this huge rock that you can stand off. And I mean, it's just amazing views from up there. But we were heading to go that way. And like I said, you go out, a kid, I forget how old I was. I was young. I don't even think I was in junior high yet. But we're walking down the road to get to the trail, and there's a turkey off out in the field, and it was probably a good 70 yards out or so, maybe 80 yards out. And my brother had his bow and arrow. And he asked my mom if he could shoot at it. And she was like, sure, thinking, no way you're going to hit the fucking thing with a bow and arrow. I mean, yeah, we can do what we can, but I mean, this is just, a beginner's bow and arrow. It's not a compound bow. We're kids, I can shoot a bow and arrow. I can shoot a crossbow. I could shoot a compound bow, but back then, I mean, it was just, a stick with a line on it. So my mom was like, yeah, sure, yeah, probably not going to hit it. And you're going to have to go pick up the arrow. So he lets go. And he caught it right below the head, right through the neck, and pinned it to the ground. No freaking way. No freaking way. I mean, whoa. We went over there, picked it up. It was dead. Dead as a freaking doornail. I can't believe he got it. Oh man, watching my brother carry that. My grandparents' house didn't have central heat and air It had heat, but it all ran off of an old school stove. Ducting ran through the house, and that's what kept the house plenty warm in the winter, but no AC. So during gatherings, we were usually hanging out. They had a big deck off the back, and then like a covered with grapes gazebo thing off the back. So everybody would basically hang out there for the most part. Um, and we would go back as we're walking back. My brother's got the turkeys carrying it by its feet, and the look of pride on his face as he's walking up, and the family can see that he's walking with this turkey. I mean, everybody's like, what? You know, he was like, yeah! My grandpa couldn't have been any prouder. He plucked the biggest feather out of the turkey, and he put it in this big giant jar and put it up above the cabinets in their bathroom, and it stayed there until I don't know what happened to it. But my grandpa was so proud of him. And my grandma, she wasted no time, man. No time. She went right to work plucking that bastard, chopped his damn head off, and shoved his ass in the oven along with the other bird. That was one hell of a meal, let me tell you, man. And I don't know if any of y'all out there have ever had wild turkey. It doesn't compare in the slightest way to store-bought turkey. It is so good. I mean, so good. I love Thanksgiving and I love turkey, but man, I miss having wild turkey. I'm not a hunter. It's just not my gig. If I gotta kill something to survive, I could. I know how to do it. But, you know, I shot a squirrel once, and the way it looked at me when it fell down and died, I felt like shit, so I never killed a animal since then. So, anyway, that's really not even the story that I was thinking about telling. I've been going this long, so might as well keep talking about it. But yeah, my grandma, you know, she cuts the bird up, prepares it, gets the legs off, and everything. Me and my brother take the legs. And there's a tendon you pull on, and it'll make the claws open and close. So we were torturing our girl cousins and my sister with those things all day until somebody took them from us. Yeah, they'd be sitting there, go up and just scratching the back of their head, watching freak out. Um, uh, I had to, I was going to tell a different story, so I'm just going to combine a few into this one about my grandparents since it's on my mind. When I got the chicken pox, I had to go stay at their house to be away from my brother and sister who hadn't yet had it. And from what I was really young. I don't really remember how old I was. But I was really young. And So I stayed at my grandma and grandpa's house, and it was I had a really bad case of it. Um, and from what my mom tells me is that's when I lost my hearing in my left ear, and it was from chicken pox. She said that right after I had it, we were driving home after she picked us up from school, and I was sitting behind her, and she said something, and I couldn't hear her. So I went over the seat. I don't remember this. This is what she told me. Said I leaned over the seat so that I could hear her, and she spoke. And then I told her, I can't hear you talking in this here. So that's when that whole fiasco happened. That's a different story. But anyway, so I had to go stay with them. Um, and when my mom came back to pick me up after I got better, um, I was outside just kind of playing by myself down in the grass right there. They had like a manicured front yard um, with, you know, grass and a koi pond and water fountains, and the stream came through and the vineyard. And then in the back, it was where his shop was, the chicken coop, the stables, um, and the deck, and then the drying lines, then the manicured grass area, and then it was farmland from there that he leased out. Um, um, so I was down in the grass area, you know, playing, you know, just being a little kid or whatever. And the time of the year that I was there, the grass or the wheat was really tall. About harvesting season, I guess. Um, and I'm just down there playing, and my mom's up on the deck, and she starts yelling at me, "Get up here right now!" And I'm thinking, what the hell did I do? Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do nothing, but you're yelling at me. But she was adamant, "Get your ass up here now." So I get up and I start walking, "Run, get up here now." Ah, Jesus, what did I do? I get up there and she goes, "Look." Okay, look, what am I looking at? Look, right there. And just maybe 5 feet away from where I was playing, there's a tail sticking up. A mountain lion was stalking me, and I had no idea he was there. No idea at all. Didn't see him, didn't hear him, but now I'm safe up on the deck. My mom opens the door and yells for my grandpa to come out and bring your gun. Well, Grandpa came out and he didn't bring his gun because he didn't know what the hell was going on. But he brought a slingshot. Yep, a slingshot and a fishing weight. You know, the kind of you clamp down on your line, the little round ones, and then you clamp it on there. So he came out, yeah, I mean, they're cheap. So he came out with that, and what is it? Point them out, Grandpa. Think that thing just boom, straight in the air. I mean, I don't know where he got it, but he got it. It jumped straight in the air, and it probably covered 200 yards in 5 seconds. It was just, I'm getting out of here, man. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm out. The distance or time might be an exaggeration, but I mean, he was gone like that. That's not even the story I intended to tell. But I loved it there. I mean, uh, going out and chopping down trees for firewood, you know, that's how they kept their house warm. Uh, Spending time with Grandpa. He knew where a lion lair was, and he took me by there one time. Had an old Ford pickup truck. That's probably where I get my love for Fords from. But with, you know, four on the floor. Yeah, old school. Took me by there. It was just a short little trail off the highway. I would get out and a short hike. He was, you know, getting up there in age at that point, but right up, it wasn't exactly a sheer rock face, but you know, like you know, mountain lions and mountain goats and shit like that could get up there. You know, I ain't going up there, not without a rope. But anyway, he took me by there, and yeah, I could still hear it, and you could hear. It was probably only about 20 feet up. There was a cave up there in the rock face, but you could hear the lions up there. It was a mother and her cubs, so that was kind of cool. And this is back when hunting mountain lions was illegal. Until people started getting attacked by them all the time, and then they would start giving out limited tags to keep the population down. So I guess I was pretty lucky myself. I don't know. I didn't intend to tell this story, and I can go on and on and on about Grandma and Grandpa's house. I mean, I've got a gazillion stories there. Anyway, I like doing this. It makes me feel good. I like putting myself into the videos. So if you guys like this kind of thing, please hit the like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching Deaf Gallon Camping. Peace out.